families, not all families, but at least 4 or 5 families in each neighborhood had a loom. And they were called barn looms. They were usually in a shed outside, or they were in a barn. And they were used to make rugs. This rug was made on this particular loom. And it's a loom that's very similar to the mountain coverlet that I'm going to show you back in the other room. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful coverlets. We have a collection of about 30 mountain coverlets, but they're off-site now, but I brought one down to share with you today. Up where I grew up near the Buffalo, there was a woolen mill, and people from all around would take their wool there and have blankets made and shirts and fabric, things they would take back home and make things out of. My family, my mother's family, always had what I call a poor people's blanket, which was just a very simple blanket with stripes at the bottom. But then there were these beautiful coverlets that were also done. Telephones, are any of you familiar with this telephone system?
Yes.
Yeah. This is the way, when I was growing up, these were the first telephones we had. And there were like 7 people on one line. And most of them were like all my family down through the valley where I grew up. I always tell everybody it was like the first conference call. I can remember my mother, because when it rung in everybody's house. And the way you knew it was for you is, like our ring was 2 longs and a short. So if someone was calling us, they'd go, let me ring it for you. Excuse me. I've been wanting to have one put in the other room and one in here, but if you were calling, you'd take this off, and you would ring one. That's a long, that's a short. So there were 7 people on this line. And I can remember my mother, whenever she needed, and everybody listened in. Nobody cared. It was just a way of life. It wasn't a big deal. And I can remember if you wanted to get information to other people in the valley or in the family, you would call, and my mother, I can hear her saying, she would find out who all was on the phone, so she would know who was getting the message and who she'd have to get back in touch with. So she'd go, Aunt Dory, are you there? Aunt Heidi, are you there? And she'd find out who was on the line. Or you want to ask a question? Yeah.
I was just trying to get like a quick sense of how it works. I think I know how it works. So that's like a headpiece that you put on right there.
But now this is a different thing. There were 7 of these, okay? And on the line, we could all talk to each other without any problem, just use this. But if we wanted to talk to a group of 7 others, we had to go through what was known as an exchange. And the lady did wear these. This is one of the ladies who read this one out on $7.99 up in Willis in what we call Ballard. And she was on duty 24 hours a day. But if I wanted to talk to someone that was on one of the other 7 lines, then I would call her exchange, and she would connect my 7 with another 7. So each one of these represents 7 families or 7 phones.